I got to ask you guys, and Marcus, I'll start with you. Do you agree that outside of the Chiefs, and maybe the Bills, the Ravens are the scariest team in the AFC?
Yeah, and it really doesn't have anything to do for me with the talent. We understand the talent. The defense is phenomenal, and then you see what Lamar Jackson is doing. It's about the mentality for me. Like, we talk about this team coming into the playoffs being 0-2, but that was off of successful regular seasons. They're playing in the playoffs right now. Like, the Ravens have been in the playoffs for the last 3 weeks, and we've seen the switch get flipped for this team and the way Lamar is playing and operating, and you're looking at what this team has had the ability to do. And I think it's going to bode well for these young players on this football team. Like, understanding playoff football is a different animal. Knowing that sense of urgency, understanding how important it is every single play for you to try to have success. They've been having to play that way. And I think the experience of Lamar Jackson losing in the playoffs prior to, the way they've been having to play down the stretch, understanding where they are, backs against the wall, that dog against everybody else mentality, I think it's going to bode well for him. And Lamar Jackson, it seems like Greg Roman and this team has said, okay, our quarterback is the best player on the field outside of probably when Patrick Mahomes is on the field or Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen. That'll be comparable to what he's doing as far as what he's bringing to the team. But dynamic, athleticism, the way he can flip a play into a positive that looks absolutely bad, there's none like Lamar Jackson, and I think they're figuring that out, and they're having to play that way in order to have success, and I think that's going to bode well for them going forward.
Jeff, let's talk about this, though. This is a team that has, let's be honest, they have flopped in the playoffs. Last year, it was, they're going to take it all the way, no problem, and they flopped. So what do you think? Are they the scariest team now? Are they going to turn this around if they make the playoffs?
No, listen, I love what Swagu's saying about Lamar Jackson, and Rex is obviously really excited about the Ravens. I will say they're probably the most difficult team to prepare for. Who have they beat? Like Swagu's saying, they've been in the playoffs the last 4 or 5 weeks. No, because they ain't played any playoff teams. You know what I mean? Like you have to beat playoff teams in the playoffs. This offense is really good when they have a lead, and they've shown that, right? They can run the ball effectively. They can do all these things. All that is impressive. But at the end of the day, if they get behind, this is not a team that can come back and win. That's going to be the issue. Because whether you're chasing the Bills, the Chiefs, possibly even the Steelers, if those teams get up on you, it takes Baltimore completely out of their game. If I could trust that Greg Roman and this Ravens offense would stay doing what they're doing, and not get back to, hey, we got to make them a pocket passer. We're going to have to throw the ball to beat some teams, whatever that looks like. That's the part that I get concerned with. I like the Ravens on defense. I love them running the football. I'm not sure they can go point for point against some of these AFC football teams.
Yeah, and that's a trouble spot. Dan, how do you think this sets them up in the playoffs? How do they look to you?
Well, they look better than they've looked all year, right? And I think, the defense should be able to get healthier on the back end here. Going forward, which will help. We've talked throughout the year about the problems they've had in the run game. They had retirements and injuries on the offensive line, so that's taken some time to put back together. But since that Cleveland game, that great Monday night game, they've looked like themselves. And I think that's what scares you if you're in the AFC, because over the past couple of years, when the Ravens have been operating the way they want to, they've been this kind of, scary-looking bully type of team. There is film on how to beat them in the playoffs from Tennessee last year, from the Chargers the year before. So it's not like, there's some sort of dominant unit, but they've likely learned from those experiences. Sometimes those heartbreaking losses can come back and help you the next year. You learn from them. So I think they're a team to watch for sure, assuming they get in, because right now they're operating their offense the way they like to.
All right. Hey, Swagger, just a quick thing here. Do you think this is a better team than last year's team?
No, I don't think the talent is the same, but I think the experience and the way they're going into this playoffs does better for them than they did last year.
Okay, all right. We'll see how that plays out for them.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.